Hello, and welcome to this Chaos Control Cloud explainer video on how to create a new eBay channel. Before we get into the details of creating a new eBay channel in your instance of Chaos Control Cloud, I just want to mention our previous explainer video on stock barcode types. It doesn't sound very sexy, but really important in terms of importing products from eBay into your Chaos Control Cloud account. So if you haven't watched that video already, please nip off to our YouTube channel, have a watch, and then come back. Sorted? Good stuff. So let's get into creating a new eBay channel in Chaos Control Cloud. You can see that I'm already in the channel screen. We're going to crack on to create a new eBay channel by just clicking on the new channel button at the top. We're going to answer the prompt and then we're going to choose eBay as the value we want to select. We're then going to give our new channel a name. So in this instance, we're going to call it Khaos eBay channel. The type defaults, and we've then got our order ref formats. So if you've watched previous videos, you'll already be up to speed on this, but if you haven't seen our Amazon and Shopify setup videos, I'll just briefly run through these import options for you. So the order ref format allows you to define the format your order numbers are created in Chaos Control Cloud so that you can easily identify them per channel. So for example, we might want to suffix our eBay orders with EB at the end of the order number. You could also prefix at the other side of the squiggly brackets, or you could leave things as they are, completely up to you. The second option is to do with using our generic customer. So some channels and marketplaces don't wish to share detailed customer data with you, such as Amazon. Where that's the case, this can be really handy. With eBay, you're going to get detailed customer information that's going to be useful to you down the line. So generally, we'd leave that off. The next option to talk about is called Don't Import Orders. This important option is enabled by default when creating a new channel, and it's used to control the initial orders that are brought into Chaos Control Cloud from your channel. It's likely that you're going to have processed some, if not all, of the initial orders that you've got on eBay once you hook it up to Chaos Control Cloud. So this option stops sales orders from being created in Chaos Control Cloud until you've had a chance to review the orders tab against your channel and decide which ones you'd like to bring in. So by default, it'll be enabled to make sure that we don't bring in orders before their time. As soon as you're ready to start talking to eBay for real, come in here and turn that option off and crack on. The other two options to talk about briefly here are stock description and order date. The first defines whether we're going to use the stock description that comes down from the channel against each order line when we create the order in Chaos Control Cloud, or whether we're going to use the stock description that we already have in our Chaos Control Cloud system. The second does the same, but for the order date, allows us to define whether the order date for orders we're creating in Chaos Control Cloud from eBay comes from the channel or comes from the point at which we import the orders into Chaos Control Cloud. In both instances, we're going to leave these as default for now. Next up, we need to authenticate our eBay channel. So we come over to the channel specific section where we've got our blank token and we click on begin auth. We get a warning about pop-ups being blocked at this point because of the way our browser's configured. That's something for you to watch out for. You're going to need to allow pop-ups from Chaos Control Cloud if you haven't before. We'll click on begin auth again, and that goes off and talks to eBay. So we need to put in our username and password for the eBay seller account that we want to connect to. And once you've done those, you want to click on sign in. eBay then comes back to confirm that they've granted us access. We click on agree and job done. We can now either close that tab or go back to Chaos Control Cloud, which is what we're going to do in this instance. And when we go back to Chaos Control Cloud and hit complete auth, you can see that the token gets brought into the system, and as soon as we confirm what we're up to, and then we can save the channel. As with our other channel setup, once we've accredited our channel, we also need to make sure that we've defined our matching hierarchy for when we bring orders in, so that the products you've got defined on eBay can match up against your products in Chaos Control Cloud. And we also need to define your specific group values. So if you've already seen us do this with either Amazon or Shopify, the next few minutes are going to be a little bit repetitious, so feel free to crack on. However, if you haven't set a channel up in Chaos Control Cloud before, please watch on. So we're going to put ourselves back into edit mode, and for the matching, we're going to go to this grid, and you can see we're defaulting to match on SKU. I want to add a number of different options here so that we can have a hierarchy of matching. So to start with, we'll set up a barcode that we know we're going to have on our eBay store. So I'm going to choose barcode code as the value for the match type, and then I'm going to choose my eBay SKU UK. I'm then going to add my EAN barcode as well, and I'm going to put my other ref in on the way through. And combine those with the fact we've already got the SKU in here as well, should mean that everything will be hunky-dory. As with the other channels, I can sort the matching so that it uses the SKU or barcode or reference that I'm most interested in. So for eBay, I'm going to make sure that it matches on the eBay SKU first. I'm going to make sure it matches on the EAN second. Then we can fall back to the SKU, and then we can fall back to the other reference. Okay. Secondly, we need to set up our channel-specific group values. So if you've already set up your Shopify account, this is going to look an awful lot more complex. If you've already set up an Amazon channel, this will look familiar, but eBay has even more group value options than Amazon to specify. So it's up to you which of these you define. As before, that global option needs to be set. So globally, at the minute, we've got 4 generic sets of values that we want to define on every order that's brought in for our eBay channel. And as we've demonstrated on our Shopify and Amazon videos, you can go through each of these in turn, and you can use the lookup to define which site you're going to be importing to, which company class your customers are going to be created in, the default courier you're going to set for each order that comes in, and the default sales source, so the channel that the order's coming through. As before, we don't have to be limited to those 4 mandatory options. We can add additional specific values. So for example, the bank account. We could also add invoice priority and a number of other options in terms of brand, key code, and courier group. So once we've got our global options defined, we need to run through each of the other value sets that we know are relevant to our eBay account and make sure those are also populated. As a bare minimum, you're going to want to make sure that you've set the right delivery service. So for UK Other Courier, for example, we're going to want to add a courier service against that to make sure it gets picked up correctly. So for example, our other courier might be Parcelforce for eBay. You'll note that we've got 2 pages worth of settings here. So you need to run through and define as many of these as you need for your eBay store. And you might want to check your eBay account in terms of which delivery options and which delivery groups you've got yourself configured for. Once you've finished all of that, we'll go back to our first list and we can see we've got 6 set against the global and then 1 set against our other courier. We save those details and jobs are good. So we've taken you through creating a new eBay channel. We've looked at authenticating that eBay channel with eBay themselves so they know who's talking to them and we can contact their API. And then we've gone through and defined a matching hierarchy for the products that are being brought in from eBay to match against products in Khaos Control Cloud, and specifying our channel-specific group values. Thank you very much for watching.